You're listening to the Chris the Freelancer podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Chris the Freelancer podcast. This is a podcast all about location independence, time freedom, and living life on your terms. Each week we interview a new guest on the show, and today I'm sitting down with Riley Bennett, the now YouTuber who built a successful business on Amazon. In this week's episode, Riley talks about his initial trip to Thailand, saving up for over a year and building a business that now funds a life of freedom and adventure. Before we begin, I just want to mention that the sound quality is not the best in this episode, as Riley's mic died about 15 minutes in. Also, I need to make a strong language warning on this episode, so if you're listening along with children or have sensitive ears, this may not be the episode for you. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 11 with Riley Bennett.
For show notes and more, visit christhefreelancer.com.
All right, I'm here with Riley Bennett. If you've seen some of my videos on YouTube, you've probably seen Riley's as well. If you just type in Vietnam Digital Nomad, it's all Riley's videos that show up.
Or Digital Nomad, man. We're both on there.
On Digital Nomad as well. But yeah, we've also done a collaboration together that you might have seen. That was 3 months ago on Riley's channel, where we talked more about like my story, but this is now Riley's opportunity to talk more about his story and the stuff he does, and I'm really interested to talk more about Amazon, selling on Amazon, and hearing his story about how you got into that. Yeah. So thanks for making the time.
Of course, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah, you've only been in Chiang Mai for like how many days now? Like 4 or something?
I just got to Chiang Mai like 4 days ago. And I was back in the States visiting home for a little less than a month.
Yeah.
So the main motivation of that was to try to avoid taxes. There's this expat tax exemption law. If you're in the States for 35 days or less in a given 12-month period, you're tax exempt on the first $99,000. So Johnny FD did that. And that's mainly our main motivation to duplicate that.
Yeah, I think I heard it on Johnny's podcast, probably, that Americans and some other nation in Africa or something are the only 2 places where you cannot avoid tax, being taxed back home. If there's Canadians, Australians, they can all change their tax residency and set up a company in another country and then sort it out that way, but apparently you guys don't have that opportunity, right?
It's just for the first 99,000, and you gotta apply and go through this whole application thing. So I mean, we're hopeful that it'll save us money to at least pay for our trip back home.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be financially worth it.
All right. Well, you like being in Southeast Asia, anyways. It's not
a month was perfect being back home. Last year we were home for the whole summer, 3 months. That got a little bit boring. And we're still starting out. Our business is still small, and it blew my mind once again how much money I spent just living in America, just kicking it with friends, going out, having beers, eating food, taking Ubers. Yeah. It's fucking 4 or 5 times more expensive than here. So every day was just money down the drain living back in America. So, one day I'll be able to live wherever the fuck I want and just blow cheese and pop bottles. But that's in a few years. So we're bootstrapping right now, and I'm happy to do it because I came back to Chiang Mai and it was the most beautiful weather ever. I was just and it's so quiet here now, not packed with tourists, and I just felt so fucking peaceful and good. It was, and those flights, 13 plus 3 hour flights, they don't faze me. I pop a couple cannabis caramels and I'm just chilling on the plane, sleeping for a good amount of it. It's nothing, just hopping overseas, so I could get used to it.
Oh, jeez. I might have to change the explicit rating on this podcast.
It's the same as alcohol in where I'm from. If you're 21 plus, you can go buy weed, go buy caramels, candies.
Is this Washington State?
Yeah, Washington State.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, like I said on this podcast, I like to go into people's stories and how they got started and their motivations and how they got to where they are today. So, yeah, take us back to the beginning. from memory, I think you're working a sales job, but you wanted to travel. Is that where the story begins?
Well, the story begins the story begins with the Big Bang, 12.4 billion years ago, when the universe was created out of no reason. No. But being born as a human on the planet Earth, I think everyone kind of has a desire to travel the world at one point. So it kind of just starts from there. I'll actually take you back to the real beginning. When I was in like 3rd grade, I wanted to be 2 things. I wanted to be an astronaut and I wanted to be an archaeologist. So those are, if you ask me, 2 of the most like adventurous, out there, exploratory careers. So like ever since a little kid, I pictured myself like in India, like being an archaeologist, like out like in the crazy, all over the world, just out there across the world, like Indiana Jones type shit. So yeah, that's me. I'm an adventurous personality, always have a desire to travel the world, but I think everyone does. The whole hard part is like, how are you actually going to make it happen? And that's the real story. So it actually started, I graduated college, just like everyone. I finished university, Washington State University, and Parker, who has been my best friend since like 3rd grade as well. Wow. Crazy. Grew up down the street from him. We both went to the same college. He graduated a year behind me. In his last semester, senior year, he studied abroad in Phuket.
Studied abroad in Phuket.
It was like a month in Phuket, and then they did some time in Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. So it was my first year after college, and I was working my job, which was door-to-door sales. Okay, fucking selling for Comcast, door-to-door. Hi, my name is Riley, doing your fucking pitch at the door, selling them on some fucking internet.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was my summer job, all during college. So every summer I would knock doors, I'd make pretty good money, maybe save like 10 grand in a summer, which I thought was like balling. I was like, yeah, fucking rich, dog. So I ended up not wanting to jump into like a career that soon after college. So I was like, let's just keep doing the independent door knocking hustle. Because I was really, really kind of afraid of getting sucked into the corporate lifestyle. Because I think I've been a fan of like Tim Ferriss's YouTube channel or something for a number of years. So I was kind of influenced by the 4-hour work week kind of during the college times. And it all kicked off. I had no idea what a digital nomad was like fucking 3 years ago. And now I'm fucking full-time digital nomad. It's fucking dope. So me and my other buddy Danny, who we also all grew up since like 3rd grade. He had graduated college as well, and we're just looking for a vacation, take some time off work, and we're like, let's just go visit Parker. He's in Phuket right now. He's studying abroad. Let's go to Thailand. So we took a 2-week vacation, TOOWEAK, per the 4-hour work week. 2-week vacation out to Thailand, saw Parker, partied it up in Phuket, saw Bangkok, saw Hong Kong as well for a weekend. And Parker came back, and we were just like, we loved it. And Parker did 2 months there during the study abroad. I did 2 weeks, and we were both just like, had so much fun. We were just like, we gotta go back and just get a job there. Let's just go there and just live out there for a year. Yeah. Let's try to get a job. Parker was a hospitality major. I was a fucking science major, fucking biochem, genetics and shit. But he's like, yeah, I bet we could get a job like working at a bar or being promoters or at a hotel, or we could teach English. Let's just go back there and live out there for a year. Yeah. So we came back to the States and we got a 1-bedroom apartment together. So we split this thing. I slept on the couch for a year in Bellevue, Washington, which is like suburb of Seattle, where we grew up. It was $1,000 a month, so we split rent, $500. I slept on the couch, and it was for that next year, from 2013 to 2014, was how are we gonna move back to Thailand? We actually got these big, big Post-it notes, presentation size, whatever. We stuck them on the wall, and we said, back to Thailand in May. Our deadline is May, and this is like summer of 2013. So we're like, back to Thailand. We're coming up with all these business plans. And actually the life hack for you guys that changed my life is when we moved into that apartment, we were about to sign up for Comcast cable TV. And at the very end we said, fuck it. We didn't get TV. We hooked up our Apple TV to the big screen, and that actually changed our life because all day we would watch YouTube instead of watching like NBA, ESPN, all these TV shows like most people do. We went on YouTube and we, typed in Thailand or whatever to get excited about it. And through watching videos about Thailand, blah, 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 who did we find?
Johnny
FD's My $200 Apartment in Chiang Mai video, and that set the cascade of events. We were just like, what the fuck? We followed Johnny's blog, blah, 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 found out about he does e-commerce, he sells shit online, does drop shipping. 6 months after we followed his blog, he announced the retreats in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and we were like, oh my God, dude, this retreat, all these digital nomads, this is our chance to figure out what these guys are doing that are already doing what we want to do, is live out there in Thailand and just fucking live the chill life out there. And so we're like, the retreat was scheduled for October 2014. This is maybe like early in 2014, so we put that on our calendars. We are going to this fucking retreat October 7th, 2014. We're going to be there. And so we just stuck our minds to it. Parker worked at UPS. He worked at a restaurant. He worked front desk at a hotel. I was just steady knocking doors, and we were just trying to live cheaply in America, as hard as that is, and save up our money and get out to this retreat and figure out what these motherfuckers are doing out there. Because once you see it on YouTube, you're like, okay, if those guys can do it, then we can do it. And it sounded a lot better, a lot more ideal than teaching English or working at a hotel. Working from your laptop. That was my dream. Just being able to wake up whenever you want, do some work on the computer at a coffee shop or from home, in your bed, wearing your boxers or whatever. Just the complete freedom. I think everyone wants that. So the main key that made it happen was having a best homie to be on the same mission as me. And I say this in every single podcast, that was the number one life hack, is having someone on the same mission as you to make the dream come reality. And then going to a conference, putting that date on the calendar, booking that ticket for October 4th or whatever it was to be there by the conference, having a set date, having a deadline to get out to Southeast Asia, to have your job quit by then, that was the key. So we both quit our jobs before then, went out to the conference, met 100 digital nomads right away, day one at this conference, and boom, all of a sudden you have 100 friends, so it's super comfortable. You have people to hang out with immediately. You're not wandering around wondering what to do. We came here, worked at this place that we are at right now, Pun Space, one of the probably the best co-working space in Chiang Mai, and we, long story short, paid attention to what other people were doing, and 6 months later we found out that was Amazon, and we pooled in all of our money to go in on our first product. We put in $1,000 each, so $2,000 total on our first test order, and that was 200 units. The test order went well, and then we shopped around for a loan from family and friends to get a loan for 1,000 units, and that 1,000 units went live about a year ago this month, about 2015 July, and our product has been selling 10 to 15 units per day consistently for about a year. So it's July 2016 right now. So that pays for both of our full-time livings out here. We pay ourselves each a $1,500 a month salary, which is more than enough. And the reason that we pay ourselves $1,500 instead of $1,000 is we each have debt. So he has student loan bills and I have credit card bills back in America. So yeah, that pays for both of our living, and then all the profit on top we put right back into the business, save up for our second product, which we just bought 300 of for a test order, and boom, that's the story in a nutshell. Having a friend on the same mission, turning off the TV, switching on YouTube, seeing what people were doing, attending a conference, meeting a bunch of digital nomads, becoming friends with digital nomads, paying attention to what works, and then just having the balls to book the ticket and do it. So we made it.
Wow, that was I didn't have to lead that, move that along at all. You just did the full story.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, well, I'll back you up a bit, because there were a few things that while you were talking that I particularly noticed. Can you talk about what you seemed so motivated when you came back from, Phuket?
Yeah.
And you had this board that said, we're moving to Thailand. Can you talk about what happened in Phuket? Why was it such a big deal for you?
Well, Parker. So the funny story is before taking the 2-week trip to Phuket, we were initially going to go to Tokyo. And last minute we changed it to Thailand because Parker, when he was studying abroad, he would text Danny and I all the time like, dude, this is amazing, dude, it's just so awesome, dude, you guys gotta get out here. Like literally every day he would just text us and call us like, dude, it's so sick. It was his first time in Asia, first time in the Eastern world. I don't know if it's the tropical vibes, the Buddhist vibes, the exotic girls, the Thai food, just the sense of freedom. I don't know, Parker, he's a tropical guy. So when we got out there, and obviously we had lots of fun, just like, we don't like a lot of bullshit. So it's like in Thailand, like nobody, like everyone, it seems like everyone has a more of a positive attitude than like in America. Like people in Thailand, like it's a cultural thing. Like you'll never see an argument in public. It's like a standard in Thailand. So if a couple is having an argument, like they'll go in private. Yeah. Like you never see people like in a bad mood. So it's just the overall vibe out here. Like, it's our first time in Asia, and I think everyone has a desire to travel, to have that extended travel experience. And Parker had 2 months during his study semester abroad or whatever, but 2 months it's not the same as 6 months or a year. Because when you have 6 months or a year, you really become a part of the city, like a part of the scene, a part of the expat scene, a part of even the local scene, and just kind of like get to know a city, like your own home city. So we were just like, let's just stay out here for longer, we're both down with the Thailand vibe, like why not? And so to say the least, we were super motivated, and you really have to be motivated if you want to quit your job, like. I understand how hard it is. Like, not everyone can just quit their job, but I say this in every podcast as well. You gotta want it really fucking bad. Yeah.
Okay, so before you discovered the Johnny stuff, were you looking at all the different options of living abroad? And then when you discovered Johnny's stuff, it was like, oh wow, this is like having a kind of, online business is the ultimate in freedom. And then because it's the ultimate in freedom, it was an easy choice to say, that's what I want to aim for.
Yeah, like, we were initially, like, at the very early stages, like, planning on going to, like, work at a hotel or something, because Parker had the hospitality background. Yeah. And, occasionally you'll see, like, expat managers working at, like, a 5-star hotel or some shit like that. So we knew it was possible to get a job overseas. We just didn't know the ideal solution, which, if you ask me, is working online. That's what I do now. Hey. And we actually, like, I started a blog before I knew about Johnny. Before I knew what a digital nomad was, I started a blog because I don't know how we found out about this, but we found a YouTube video or something. It's this blogging program. It's a network marketing thing online. It's called Empower Network. Okay. Most of you guys have probably never heard of it, but maybe a few of you guys have. It's basically an affiliate marketing program where you create a blog and you're selling information products, and the information product that you're selling is how to create a blog and sell information products. Oh, wow. So it's this big network marketing thing. And but I actually, it kind of kicked me in the right direction, so I don't regret it, because like the lesson on day one, oh, you know what, is I actually met someone in physical person who told me about Empower Network, because they want to sign me up under them. Yeah. So I was like, oh, you make money blogging? That sounds super interesting. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'll show you, I'll sign you up. So I signed up. It was like $25 a month for like whatever, this blogging platform. And so the lesson on day one was create a blog post every day. Yeah. And so that's what I did. And I would just write. And they're like, just write about whatever's on your mind. Just write about just whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want to talk about. So I just wrote about what I was passionate about, like technology, the times that we're living in, the exponential technology growth, the ability to travel easier than ever, our desire to travel the world and work from wherever we want. And like part of the selling point of this blogging program was, you can make passive income online. Like you can work from wherever you want if you become a full-time blogger and make money online. So that first opened the door to like, oh shit, people are actually doing this, like making money online, blogging from their computers. The people way high up, they're traveling the world, and they have all these exotic pictures with their computers. Opposite of the day, I have dozens of those motherfuckers now. So I was like, all right, but it was dope because I wrote a blog every day, and that blog was kind of like a life hack because I was faking it until I was making it. So I was writing about location independent business. It's the best thing because, and you can actually check my blog out. It's livingthatlife.wordpress.com. If you go in the archives, you'll see posts from 2013 where I'm just ranting about exponential technology, about location independent income, about entrepreneurship. Because at that point I realized I don't want to be an employee. I want to be a fucking entrepreneur, be my own boss. So you really got to realize that you're an entrepreneur. And I realized that after college. And I think most people listening to this, they already realize they're an entrepreneur person. They're not an employee. They want to be their own boss. So that was our first thing, first online venture, you could say. And then as we started watching more and more YouTube, we finally stumbled upon Johnny's video. And then we signed up for the Dropship Lifestyle program, and then we started our little dropship sites, Shopify sites. That was probably summer of 2014, like a few months before the retreat. And we made our little sites, and we made our first dropshipping sale, kind of holiday time. Like I think the 1st of November 2014 was the first sale. But dropshipping, for the majority of people, never really made a profit. It was kind of too expensive to buy ads. But after 6 months, it kind of proved out that Amazon was kind of the hot shit, and it was working out for most people that tried it. So we went into that.
So talk us through how drop shipping didn't work out and how the Amazon thing did, because you said that most of the people you met were struggling to make drop shipping work.
Yeah, this is a very common question, so this would be good for you guys. People ask me, like, didn't you try drop shipping? Blah, 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 because I understand why drop shipping is good because you don't have to buy the inventory up front. So, quick overview, I guess, people that don't know what drop shipping is versus Amazon. So, drop shipping is when you have your own domain, like, I'm holding a lavalier mic. So, lavaliermicdeals.com. Like, I'll create that. I'll create a Shopify store where people will search to buy a lavalier mic on Google. They will click on Google Shopping. They will see lavaliermicdeals.com under the list of websites that will sell those. They'll go, oh, lavaliermics.com, they must specialize in lavalier mics. Some people want to shop from that. So they'll click on it, they'll order the lavalier mic. This is actually a bad example because when you drop ship, you want to drop ship expensive stuff, like $200 plus. So I was selling... I'll just say it. I sold this site. I was selling inflatable hot tubs for they're like $1,000-$1,500 a piece. Yeah. And so they'll see my inflatable hot tub, portablehottubuniverse.com. I sold it. Go to the website, buy shit. If you want one, go there. Support the guy that owns it now. Whatever. In order to, someone places an order for the hot tub. You get the money into your account within a couple days, and then you email the supplier who warehouses them in America, and you say, hey, this customer just placed an order, deliver this hot tub to them, and then you pay the factory the wholesale price, and you keep the difference between retail and wholesale, which is usually like 20-30%. So each sale you make like $200-$300 or whatever. But in order to get enough traffic to get enough sales, which is like 100 views per day, you'll get like one sale. If that. You have to pay Google per click. So you have to pay Google like $30-$40 a day. It ended up like I had to pay Google $40 per day, in order to get like a sale, like one sale a week. Yeah. So that's $1,200 a month, $40 a day, and I wasn't making that much profit because it was kind of breaking even. If I make a sale a week, and let's say I make like $250 a sale, that's $1,000 a month profit, but I'm spending $1,200 a month on Google Ads, so it just wasn't adding up. Yeah. And for like, I would say like pretty much everyone at this particular Dropship Lifestyle Conference that was starting from ground zero, like Parker and I were, pretty much everyone ran into the same problem. It was a cheap traffic problem. Dropshipping works if you can get cheap enough traffic, but just paying Google alone will not work. It will break even, or actually lose a bit of money. Lost a few $100 like per month. But if you can figure out a way to get like podcast marketing to your store, or like social media marketing, Pinterest, something cheaper, something more content, social media driven, like getting influencers to like promote your store through a blog post or something, then it can work. But just relying on Google pay-per-click or product listing ads, PLAs, is not enough. So Kai, who I have a podcast with on YouTube, you can check that out. He had saved a ton of money through his sales job before this conference, and so he just went straight into Amazon because there was a talk. This guy, Ben Brandis, at the Dropship Lifestyle Retreat, he talked about how he builds his Amazon business, and everyone's like, oh my god, that's ultimate. You own your own brand, you own your own product, that's dope. And so that was kind of everyone at the conference, that was kind of the next step after dropshipping, was owning your own product, selling your own product. Because that way you're building something. You're building something a brand that you can sell down the line. And so, but not everyone had like 10 or 20 grand saved up to buy a bunch of inventory and go straight into Amazon. So, but Kai did. He saved up tons of money from his job. So after the holidays, let's say January, February, he's just kind of working in Palm Space and around, and we're just like, he's kind of a quiet guy. We're just like, yeah, how's Amazon going? He's like, it's going good. He was making like $5,000 profit per month, and after a while, actually someone came up to us, I won't say their name, but we were at a digital nomad meetup or something. He was like, you know what, guys? Fuck this dropshipping shit. I'm doing Amazon. And Parker was just like, you know what? You're right. Fuck this dropshipping shit. Let's just do Amazon. I don't care if we don't have a lot of money. Let's just do a small order and let's just do it. And so it proved out to be good. We each had like 2,000 left in savings, and we put 1,000 of that each into to buy 200 units. And for the test order, it went pretty good. And so we put in 2,000. We got about like 3,500 back from Amazon within about a month or 2 months. But we had to spend that to keep living in Chiang Mai because we had to split that $3,500. We spent $1,000 a month here, so we're like, shit, we don't have money. We don't have money to buy more inventory. So we had to go to friends and family and show them our numbers and the projections and all that shit. Give them the whole business plan. Basically, like, this is the business plan. We have this product. It's a good niche. We can dominate this niche. Blah blah blah. And so, but that took us a while, like 3 months of going to different people, and finally we got the loan. Because I'll be honest, like we didn't have 1,000 units worth of money saved up, so we had to go get the loan. And for a lot of you guys starting Amazon, it may be the same thing. So I'm just saying, like, but hey, any store, like you're gonna have to go get a loan to start a store. I don't care if it's a physical store. I don't care what type of business. You're gonna have to borrow money to start a business. Not even 9% of the time. It's just what you do. And so that's what we did. And a year later, it's still selling good.
How do you deal with risk? Because as an entrepreneur, you have to take risks, obviously. And with your story, it seemed like you really hedged your bets on the business working. Was that a scary experience for you, or you were just so determined and you're like, if it all falls apart, so be it? Like, what was your thinking with that?
Yeah, good question. It's gonna be scary, but so number one, Parker and I are pretty confident people. Like I say this in pretty much every one of my podcasts. Like some people are born with it, but some people learn it over time. I don't know whether I was born with it or whether I learned it over time, or because it was from my parents raising me in a positive environment, whatever. But I've always been the type of guy that's like, okay, if you can do that, then I can do that. You have to have that mindset first and foremost, because if you're looking at Johnny FD and these traveling vloggers and people, living on their own terms, the freedom life, and if you say something like, oh, well, they were lucky, or they could do that because they had this, I don't have that, then you're fucked. You're never going to do it. So I think most people listening to this, you're the type of person that says, if he can do it, I can do it. So you have to have that mindset, and like, yeah, there's risk, but no risk, no reward. Like, worst comes to worst, like we had 6 months of savings, so we had like 10 grand saved up each from our jobs. Worst comes to worst, we come and live in Chiang Mai for 6 months and didn't make money online, and we go back and just do the same job and save up 10 grand again over the next year and come back out for 6 more months and try it again.
Wow.
So, worst comes to worst, we live in Thailand for 6 months. But we got lucky enough, and I say luck, it takes research, it takes a lot of research to pick a good product, so, but it does take a little bit of luck. I'll say it does take a little bit of luck to have your product be successful. But you can hedge your bets by doing a lot of smart market research. And the method that we did is kind of a new method, I guess. But I'm coming out with a course that's not out yet, but I will be, that we just talking about basically how we did what we did with the Amazon thing. And then the other thing is, it made it a lot less scary because I had my best friend doing it with me. Mm-hmm. If it was just me, it would have been a lot more scary. So that's why I say in every podcast, of course not everyone has this luxury, but if you can get on the same mission with a friend and move out here with your girlfriend or your best friend, whatever, like, it'll make it 10 times less scary. But yeah, like, no risk, no reward, and we were super confident, and our intentions were set pure. We showed the universe our intention. People that know about The Secret and positive vibes, attract positive vibes and all that shit. And, just like setting your intention so pure and starting to write that blog about traveling the world location independent a year before I even came to Chiang Mai. Like, it was kind of like a fucking universe hack. Like, I was in my mind, I was pretending like I was already doing it a year before I even came out here. Like a year and a half before I even made my first dollar online, really. I started writing blog posts about how sick e-commerce was, because it enabled you to travel the world and work from wherever you want. But it's going to be scary, but if you're working your sales job, knocking doors, listening to this podcast like I was listening to Johnny's podcast in my earbuds while I was knocking doors, literally. Yeah. And then when they answered the door, I would pause it and then start my pitch. So like, I was that fucking motivated listening to Johnny's Travel Like a Boss podcast. So I was super motivated. You really, really have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of your job. Parker and I both hated our jobs. Yeah. So if you're at home, figure out which one of your friends hates their job the most and move into an apartment together, or hang out every day and just talk about how much you hate your job. Just keep talking about how much you hate your job, because that will manifest into action, hopefully, and follow Chris and follow me. Just copy what other people are doing. You don't have to think of a new idea. That's the beauty of it, is with this e-commerce thing, just copy what other people are doing. We didn't invent some new shit. We just are doing what the 4-hour workweek says. Pay acute attention to what other people are doing and observe it, and adapt it. So, and by the way, public service announcement, if you guys have not read or listened to the audiobook, The 4-Hour Workweek, you better pause this podcast and go download that shit. It's on Audible, whatever, alright? That's like the Bible when it comes to digital nomads. It's all about
Agreed.
It's all about traveling. It's all about efficiency in your life, making most of your time on this planet Earth, not wasting your life doing something that not wasting like the majority of the days of your life doing something that you're not even like totally excited about. And so, to say the least, guys, it's about digital nomad. It's about making money online, e-commerce, creating a product, creating a brand, traveling the world, learning new skills, learning archery, learning salsa dancing, like being the world's most interesting man. Tim Ferriss, he wrote the fucking book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just I don't know what to say. Just fucking do it. Just copy what everyone else is doing. But yeah, there's gonna be a risk. But so you guys at home, save up 10 grand, ideally 20 grand. Like looking back, I actually wish I had a little bit more money saved up. I know it's really hard to save money in America, but get with your friend that also hates their job as much as you, and like become like save money buddies. Like don't go out and spend all the money at the bars and shit. Like save as much money as you can. Save 10 or 20 grand, and if you save 20 grand, you can move out to Chiang Mai for 6 months. 10 grand will be your living expense, and then the other 10 grand you can put into an Amazon inventory order for 500 or 1,000 units and get started that way. So hindsight, I would tell myself, save up 20 grand, quit your job, and go right into Amazon.
All right. So you mentioned the 4-hour work week, which I totally recommend to everyone as well as the Bible for digital nomads, and Dropship Lifestyle. Is there any other resources you can recommend? Did you take any courses for Amazon or?
So one of my friends had bought the Amazing Selling Machine. It's like probably the most popular Amazon course, whatever. It's $5,000. So he threw down $5,000. Okay, wow. This was Kai, who had all the money saved up in his job. Cold calling job, by the way, corporate sales, inside sales, so phone, blah blah blah. And so I kind of learned off of his Amazing Seller account. So I kind of learned directly from Kai. So I would just ask him questions on Facebook every single day, like, am I doing this right? What do I do with this? Like the little nuts and bolts type of stuff. But I learned from a friend. And so I would say, if you get into Amazon, don't just wing it yourself. You're gonna need a friend who's done it before to like advise you and coach you through the little stuff, because even though we had Kai, like we still made mistakes on our first order. Like there's tons of little mistakes that you gotta avoid that will just cost you money and cost you time dealing with your Chinese supplier. Yeah. So I don't even think I explained this. So with the Amazon thing, what you do is you buy products in bulk from Alibaba.com, which is like the wholesale site in China, and you're communicating with the factory sales rep over email and over Skype chat. And what they'll do is you'll buy 1,000 of these little products. The Amazon method, what you want to do is focus on like a $20 to $40 product, and they'll private label it for you. So they'll place your logo on the product. So they'll place my logo on this little lavalier mic that I'm holding right now. So this is actually, this lavalier mic that I bought is actually probably an Amazing Selling Machine seller. So the because I know their marketing, like I know how their page looks. Yeah. The people that sell this mic, I think, went through the Amazing Selling Machine because some of their marketing uses the tips that they teach. Nice. So yeah, the Alibaba will private label it, and that means brand it your own. So you own this product. It will say like Riley's lavalier mics, on the fucking bag or on the product itself, and they ship boxes. They ship all the 1,000 units to the Amazon warehouses in America, and that Seller Central and Amazon makes it easy. You just go create fulfillment order, and it tells you the exact 3 warehouses to ship your boxes, how many boxes, like 30, let's say there's 100 boxes, 33, 34, and your factory tells you what the sizes are. You put in all the information, boom, boom, boom. It arrives on Amazon, boop, they scan the boxes, it's for sale on Amazon. and you create the pictures yourself and the marketing copy on there. So that's the Amazon method in a nutshell. You buy it wholesale in bulk from Amazon.com, and then you sell it on on Alibaba.com. Sell it on Amazon for double whatever. You want to double your money. So let's say after shipping, it costed you like $20 product, $10. You want to get $20 back from Amazon. So if you spent $20 to get it to Amazon, you want Amazon to give you back 20. That's kind of the goal. We're not quite there. We're a few dollars shy, but that's kind of the goal. Yeah.
Do you think Amazon is a bit of a gold rush right now? Because if you look at Amazon as a company, they're looking for world domination. They're reinvesting all their profits into the company, and their revenue has grown year on year, but their profits have stayed about the same because they just continually invest. And I've spoken to people about Amazon before, and I'm just like, it seems like everyone's doing Amazon, and there's so much competition. And I spoke to one guy who promotes Amazon here in Chiang Mai, and he said, but it's growing so fast, like even with the amount of competition, and now's the time to get in. Do you think at some point that it's not going to be the opportunity that is available now?
Did you speak to Rob? The Amazon podcast guy? Yeah, I talked to him too. I mean, he's got a great point. Like, e-commerce in general is like still on a steep up climb. Like, we're still at the beginning of the internet age. Like, really, in the big picture of it, like there is so much. Technology is growing exponentially, and e-commerce is not going to slow down. It's only picking up. People are only buying more and more shit online. And Amazon, like, they have big domination plans. Like, they want to be in every fucking continent, every country in the world. Like, so, and I would agree with him. I would say that it's still good to get in now. It's still great to get in now. Like, let's say you have 100 friends who all do Amazon.
Yeah.
There's 100,000 niches on Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's like people say, oh, there's more competition. Okay, yeah, every day there's more and more Amazon sellers that are doing this, around the world, but there's so many tens of thousands of niches. Like, not everyone is selling the same niche. So as long as they are not in the same niche product as you, we're not competing.
Yeah. Just
because your friend sells on Amazon, I sell on Amazon, we're not competing. We're totally in different markets. He could be selling doggy bones, and I could be selling lavalier mics.
Yeah.
It's completely different. So there's so many thousands of products to choose from to go around. I think if you pay attention to what has worked, through all of our experiences, and avoid those mistakes, and then pay attention, pay attention to the methods that work and avoid our mistakes that we already made. Just keep learning from people who've done it. So I think it's even better because you can learn from all of us who have been doing it been doing it for a year and a half. Rob's been doing it for however many years. Just learn from us and go after it, But not every product is guaranteed to succeed. And in dropshipping and Amazon, not every product is guaranteed to sell, 10 per day, which is the goal. And, full disclosure, we actually launched a second product. We bought 1,000 of a second product Christmas of last year. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a dud product. It only sells 1 or 2 per day. So that's a mistake that you guys should not do. Don't buy 1,000 of a product until you do a test order with a couple hundred. So, our first product was selling 15 per day. We were like, yeah, let's just do this next product. It's, kind of the same niche, but a little bit different. And let's just buy 1,000. Fuck it. We bought 1,000 and we have like 500 left. So, kind of dud. But we're launching a third product now, and we learned from the mistakes of the second product. So, you really gotta pay attention to other people's mistakes. But it's still right to get in. I definitely. We just launched a product with our friend from back home, and it's already live. It's been live for a couple months. He's doing a bundle product. Okay, I'll just say it. That's kind of our method, is the bundle method. Like I told you earlier, like kind of bundling in like related accessory products together. So we did that for him, and multiple other friends back home were just like, dude, like, you're still out in Southeast Asia? It's been 2 years. Like, how do I fucking get into this game?
Yeah.
And also people through my YouTube channel hit me up every day. How do I do this Amazon thing? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of coaching like a handful of people, just kind of free on the side. But I am working on an full Amazon course, because it's about that time that I monetize all my experience and show people exactly how to do it through everything that I've succeeded and failed at. So resources, stay tuned to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sure the link will be in there. And go to my blog, livingthatlife.wordpress.com, and just kind of stay tuned to when my course will be available. So yeah, hey, I'm a good resource, guys. I'll be honest, yeah. Learn from me.
Yeah, definitely. All that stuff will be linked in the show notes for you guys. So you talked about setting up products, and you tried a few different things. Once you set them up on Amazon, is it basically Amazon takes care of the rest, and then when you run out of an order, you just order more? And then, if so, is your time spent now sort of developing, new markets and launching new products, or what does it look like on a day-to-day basis as an Amazon seller?
Cool. Yeah. So what you want to first part of the question, as soon as you have like 200 units left or whatever, you'll take the cash that you have and you'll put down a 20 or 30% deposit with your with your Alibaba Chinese factory. And they will start the production of the next 1,000 units. As soon as that production is ready to ship, you'll pay the remaining 70% and they'll ship it out. So you always got to make sure that you place your next order to re-up for 1,000 more units before you run out of stock. You don't want to run out of stock. That's like kind of the number one rule. But it can be tight with the cash flow, because with Amazon you get paid bi-weekly, and you really got to make sure you have enough cash to place that 30% deposit to get your order ready to re-up, so you don't run out of stock. Because if you run out of stock, you basically go to the back of the page listings. So you don't want to do that. What was the other part of the question? Day to day. So let's see. Yesterday I was working on graphic design, like the images for my friend's product that we helped him launch. So during the first couple months after product launch, what I've found is I'm always changing the images. So on Amazon you have a main image, and then you have like 7 other images. Yeah. So I'm always like changing the main image like every week, and then changing the other 7 images during the first couple months, and just testing them like every week to see what converts better. Yeah. And so I was doing that for my friend's product yesterday. I'm always making the images more sexy. That's a kind of a slow progression. I'm no professional graphic designer. I'm doing everything on PowerPoint. I'm basically jerry-rigging this whole thing, just like making it look as good as I can just through fucking free PowerPoint shit. But yeah, so I spend a lot of time doing graphic design stuff because PowerPoint is slow, and I'm an amateur graphic designer, so I'm just always tinkering with like images. And I also do the copy for my product and my friend's product, so I'm always changing the title. Okay. And then changing you have 5 bullet points, and then you have the description box at the bottom. Yeah. So I'm always changing those things, and then seeing the numbers through the next week and seeing what converts well. So on Amazon, a 10% conversion rate is good. Yeah. So someone that clicks on your page, if they buy your products within the next 24 hours, that's a conversion. So if 100 people click on my page in one day, about 10 people will buy it. And sometimes our page is as high as 15%. Nice. So our page converts pretty well because we have a unique product. No one else has our exact product, and that's why it's successful. And our second product that was a dud, it's because there was a couple other sellers that have the same exact model. The only thing that was different was we had our sexy logo on it and our sexy packaging and branding. That's not enough to justify your higher price point, even if it's the same price point. It's not enough. Sexy branding is not enough to get someone to choose you. It's all about features. It's all about having the product different than every other seller, and that's crucial that we will be teaching in our course how to make sure you do that. And it's also, you have to do a lot of keyword research. You really have to make sure that, even if your product is unique, there has to be people already searching for that. Like, friends come up to me at home, they're like, dude, I got this idea for a product, it's gonna be this pillow, and it's gonna do it's like, dude, alright, search for it on Amazon. Is there someone searching for that keyword? Like, whatever, or there's this golf product, is there someone searching for it? And if no, then you're not gonna get people to magically start searching for that and finding your product. So it's like a reverse engineering. You have to look at the keyword volume. There's this site, merchantwords.com. You can see the keyword search volume.
Okay.
You look at the keyword search volume, and then you put a product in front of that keyword. You're not inventing a new product that's good and then throwing it on Amazon, hoping certain people will search for it. You're doing it backwards. So you're seeing what's in demand on Amazon, and of course there's going to be a version of every single keyword out there. But what you want to do is find a niche keyword that there's opportunity to make that product better, and that's what you do. You make it better than everyone else, and you charge a higher price point than everyone else. That's kind of the Amazon method in this community or in the Amazing Selling. What the Amazing Selling Machine teaches is, you don't want to put something on Amazon and then be the cheapest. Just be the cheapest version of that. You want to be the iPhone of that product. So you want to charge the highest. Yeah. So for example, our product as well, because if you search for our keyword, we're the most expensive listing on that page. And there's a certain percentage of people that will want to buy it just because it's the most expensive one, because that creates perceived value. Now our product, in my opinion, it still is the best product, so it is justified to charge that much, but there's always people that will want to buy the high-end version. So what you ideally want to do is be the high-end version of the niche product that you're selling, but it takes very, very careful number crunching and reverse keyword engineering research. But yeah, on a day-to-day basis, I'm always editing the copy, and then I just finished doing the packaging. I did the packaging design all myself for our new product that we just bought 300 of. So I do a lot of like PowerPoint graphic design shit on a day-to-day basis. And also I spend probably just as much time, not just as much time, once a week I'll edit a video, spend an all-nighter editing a YouTube video. It takes me like 8 or 10 hours to edit a video. So I do the YouTube on my computer, and then I only work like fucking 4 to 5 hours a day on my computer. Like, I'm a pretty lazy guy, in the overall picture of it. So yeah, I enjoy sleeping in on a day-to-day basis. We go to CrossFit every day. We enjoy going out and partying. Like, me and Parker, like, we love the lifestyle, man. We love it. I enjoy sitting by the pool 20 minutes a day, getting some sun, getting my pale ginger ass some color. Getting enough vitamin D. So yeah, but overall, like, I don't work as much as the average person, because we don't need to every day. Like, our product that sells well now, the one that's been selling for a year, like, I haven't edited it or changed it in months. Like, it kind of just sits there and just sells every day. So yeah.
Okay, so it seems once you launch the product, it's just about optimizing that listing and making sure stock doesn't run out. Yeah,
right? You'll the first couple months you'll optimize it, and and once you find those images that you're satisfied with, like, okay, those images, the branding is consistent and they look sexy, and the copy and the title looks good and it's selling pretty good, then you just kind of leave it alone and then figure out what your next product is going to be.
Awesome. Okay, one more business question, and I want to get onto the lifestyle stuff.
Sure, man, love it.
You talk a lot about, your friend, business partner, Parker. How do you kind of work together or complement each other? Do you have separate roles, or do you have, use a project management tool, or how do you manage it? Kind of the 2-person team.
Great question. So it also does. The reason that we are each able to only work 4 hours, 4 hours a day is because we basically split the work in half. So he deals with the supplier. So he's always talking to the supplier on Skype chat, on email. He makes the re-up orders. He just placed a negotiated price for a new product. And then he also does the PPC, so the pay-per-click advertising on Amazon. He does kind of all the accounting stuff. Like he takes money out of the business account and pays our allowance into our personal accounts every month. So yeah, he handles the supplier, which is like a daily or weekly. You know, you're chatting with a random Chinese girl, like on Skype, like chat, like, hey, how are you? How was your day? Yeah. We're still waiting on blah 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 blah. Whatever's going on. Like, did you get the file? Did you get the design file? When's it ready to print? When's it ready to ship? You know, this product is breaking. You need to upgrade this. This product is a piece of shit. Blah blah blah. And ordering samples. So I didn't mention this part, but before you order a test order of something, you order a sample. So we're constantly ordering samples to Chiang Mai, to our apartment, and feeling the sample, make sure it's not a cheap Chinese piece of shit. And once it's good, then you place a test order for like 100 or 200 or 300 units. But yeah, we split the task up pretty 50-50. So I do all the graphic design, the copy, and he deals with the supplier and kind of the accounting and placing new orders and that type of shit. So yeah, it can be done by one person, but it would be obviously more of a full-time job, maybe 6 or 8 hours per day. But you know, splitting it up 4 hours per day, okay, 4 to 5, 3 to 5, we'll go with that way. But hey, like we might only work like 4 days per week, so I'll throw that in too. We probably only work like 4 days per week, you know, because we'll go out and party on a random Wednesday and be hungover on Thursday and not work, like something like that. So
nice, living that life.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a good point. Good point to start talking about the lifestyle stuff. Obviously, you don't have to, you know, work as much, and you're spending less because you're in Southeast Asia. Yeah. I believe that's the main reason you're in this region of the world, and usually hang out Thailand, Vietnam, bit of the Philippines. Like, how do you choose like the locations, and have you found you know, being in Thailand and in comparison to Vietnam or the Philippines?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, it's all word of mouth. It's all word of mouth between digital nomads that we meet in person. Obviously, we started out in Chiang Mai because it's known as the digital nomad capital of the world, and that's why the Dropship Lifestyle Conference was here, October 2014. So we moved out here for the conference 2014 October, and we stayed here for 9 months. And then we had some friends here like Kai, Ocean, and others who did during that time, during the burning season, which is like May, April-ish, or maybe March, in Chiang Mai, it's burning season, and some homies went down to Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, which is Vietnam. People, and they came back and they gave it rave reviews. So, you know, we went home that summer, 2015, and we were like, hey, where should we go next? Like, you know, we could go to Chiang Mai, or we could go to Ho Chi Minh City, which is just as cheap. Yeah. You know, our main goal with this whole business is to travel the world. Like, let me say that. Yeah. Like, the whole reason we're out here is because we want to travel the world, right? We just don't want to sit in one place for the rest of our lives. You know, we want to do interesting shit, live our lives to the fullest. That's the whole point. We're in this Amazon game, is because it's a lifestyle business. It's a passive income. It allows you to do whatever you want with your time, okay? The goal is not to work. The goal is to travel, do dope shit, film dope videos, all this shit. Do what you want with your life, alright? Read the 4-hour work. So yeah, Ho Chi Minh got great reviews, so we moved there September 2015, and we lived there for 6 months. And Saigon, it's like the New York City of Vietnam, so it's a crazy, packed traffic, motorbike, tsunamis everywhere, and just freaking buildings, and crazy loud everywhere. So it's kind of the opposite of Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a small to medium-sized city, but there's still a few good bars, like Zoe Bar. There's still somewhat of a nightlife, but Saigon is like fucking New York City. There's a million bars. You'd never be able to go to all the bars and clubs there. It's huge, and that was our first really big city experience living in our life, because we're from kind of the suburbs of Seattle. So that was the first time where we wake up in our apartment, we walk outside, and you can hear traffic like from your bedroom. So first time really living in really a densely populated area, which is cool. I love the energy. We love Saigon, fucking love it. But we also love Chiang Mai for the same reasons. I think this has been dope going back and forth between Saigon and Chiang Mai. Yeah. Because it's like you go to the huge energy Saigon, and then you come back to the peaceful and Buddhist Chiang Mai. Yeah. So we like both. And then we had another digital nomad friend, actually a couple who went to the Philippines, and and also I had a friend from high school who was doing a vacation in Boracay, Philippines, so we went there for 10 days. We lived in Davao, which is the southernmost city of the Philippines, and it's known for being very not touristy at all. So you'll see a white person like every other day. So it's a unique digital nomad destination in that sense. It's really a local city experience. It doesn't feel touristy at all because it's not. Like people will see you walking down the street and they'll want to take a selfie with you because like you're like, oh my god, a fucking tourist. Who is this guy, Brad Pitt? So you can kind of read between the lines on that one, why it's popular. So we lived there for a month. Our friend he actually lives in Kenya. He flew out to meet us there to live with us for a month, and we masterminded and helped him launch his Amazon product. But the Philippines is dope. A little bit on the Philippines in general. It's a bilingual country basically, so they speak fluent English and Tagalog, and they kind of speak like even to each other, Filipino to Filipino. It's called Taglish. It's a mix between English and Tagalog. Oh wow! So it'll be like sige sige, go to the supermarket. Sige sige, para your pair of shorts, something. They're like mixed English, and it's really weird. That's a bad example, but they'll mix.
I think you did pretty well considering that you don't speak.
I don't speak it at all, but I just know like para sige sige, because in their language it sounds like Spanish. Because like the whole country was like Spain colonized, so like the food is like similar to like Spanish, and the language sounds like Spanish, and they all speak fluent English. So. In that sense, a lot of people like it because it can be a little bit easier to meet girls, I guess, because they speak fluent English. Hello, sir. Here is your change, sir. 20 pesos, sir. Have a good day, sir. Their accents it's funny. But yeah, Philippines is dope. We definitely loved it. We're definitely gonna go back sometime. And people ask me, hey, what's your favorite? Dude, I like Chiang Mai and Saigon and the Philippines the same because they're all beautiful animals in their own respect. There we go. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And I guess when you first came to Chiang Mai, you were going to the retreat, so you plugged into the community pretty easy with that, and then your friends recommended Ho Chi Minh, and then you went there and I guess connected with them. How have you sort of... has it just been through your friends that you've connected with the, I guess, entrepreneurial expat community, or is there, ways that you've met other people and that are doing similar things to you? Because at least for me, the community is a big, aspect for me. I love Chiang Mai for that reason, and we're planning to go to Saigon, my girlfriend and I, in a few months. And yeah, this is kind of selfish question on my behalf, but I think it's I actually had somebody ask me a coaching call on Friday, asked me, should I go Saigon or Chiang Mai, and I just couldn't answer because I haven't been to Saigon, so I wouldn't know. But Chiang Mai I rave about, but what would you say for in terms of Saigon?
I have a podcast on this.
Okay.
Just search Chiang Mai versus Saigon and I'll be the first one on YouTube. But it's with me and Kai talking about Chiang Mai versus Saigon. We're in Saigon doing it. But if it's your first time to Asia, I recommend Chiang Mai because it's less of a culture shock. If your first time to Asia is fucking plop in the middle of Ho Chi Minh City, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is crazy. People you're going to wonder how they don't crash their motorbikes into each other. It's just, it's New York City versus fucking Bellevue, Washington. Okay, you guys still don't know what that is, but it's New York City versus Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Chiang Mai is Pleasantville. It's still a city, it's still a good sized city. It's not a fucking village. But Chiang Mai is Saigon is fucking New York City. So if it's your first time coming out to Asia, Chiang Mai is your spots. But if you like big cities like me, go to Saigon next. And Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh are they're known. By the way, Ho Chi Minh is the same as Saigon. Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh are kind of known to be number 2 and 3 digital nomad capitals. So it's been known on the blog on nomadlist.com. They're really high digital nomad communities, and that's why we're doing Bangkok next month. So if it's your first time, Chiang Mai.
All right. I like to diversify sometimes and talk about other places, but it always just keeps coming back to Chiang Mai. Nothing really beats it right now.
It's super it's good, man. It's super sick. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been a really great chat. You've been, you've given us a lot of value in this little interview. So I want to say thanks a lot.
Yeah, buddy.
And all the Riley stuff I recommend. We'll be linking that in the show notes. Definitely stick around till the end of the podcast, or just click onto the blog now. But Riley's course is going to be coming out hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So you can learn more about what he does. But thanks for coming on, Riley.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And by the way, if you're wondering about Saigon, I started my YouTube channel. I bought my camera before I went to Saigon, so I have tons of YouTube videos showing around the city of Saigon, nightlife in Saigon, food in Saigon.
Yeah.
So most of my YouTube channel is Saigon. So you'll be able to see a lot of Saigon if you watch my videos.
There's one in particular that I think is really good that I'll link to. Is a day in the life in Saigon you released recently. That's a 2-part one. That was really good to see.
Yeah.
So I'll link that one as well. All right. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Alright guys, thanks for listening. If you want to find out more about Riley, as well as everything else we just talked about in today's episode, you'll find all of that information and more in the show notes. Just head to christhefreelancer.com/podcast/Riley-Bennett. That's christhefreelancer.com/RILEY-BENNETT. As always, thanks for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next episode.